Hey everybody, this is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C. And I guess I might as well call this the quarantine series since we are all in quarantine, being safe at home. I hope everybody is hanging in there. I'm joined with my good friend, singer-songwriter from Maryland. I believe I was one of the first people to interview her, and it's good to see that she's moved on to amazing things since then. And to get caught up with her, I'm joined with Kristin Rebecca. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back on the show. How are you doing?
Hanging in there. I mean, pretty much what everyone should be doing, but there's some knuckleheads here and there.
Yeah.
So you have done a lot of good things. Since this is the first time I interview you in a while, I want to get caught up with you. So what are some of the things you've been able to do since the first interview I did with you?
Yeah, since then, I've started to tour nationally, and the other cool thing I got to do is I signed an endorsement deal with the Clayton Guitar Pick Company, so that was another exciting thing I got to do.
Wow, that's awesome. How did that came about?
So I've been using Clayton Guitar Picks for years. I initially bought ones that had a wolf as the picture of the guitar pick, and that's what initially got me into them because I love wolves. And I reached out to him and said, I've been using your guitar picks for a long, long time, and I see that you work with artists and endorsement deals, so would you be interested in working with me? And they said yes.
That's awesome. I've heard all types of endorsement deals, but I've never heard of a guitar pick endorsing an artist. That has to be in first, and at least in my estimation, as far as people I've interviewed throughout the years. So that's pretty awesome. Obviously independent, unsigned artists. It's you're spending your own money, obviously, and travel and in the studio time. So anytime you get something like that, that's pretty amazing. So fast forward to 2020. What was some of the shows you were able to do before everything got shut down?
So I had a unique experience with all this because I was in California when the country really started shutting down. I was there for doing a series of shows, and all of a sudden, as we were heading home, the state started shutting down, and we had to reroute because we were trying to find food, and some of the states we were going to go through were shutting everything down, and of course, the grocery stores are pretty empty. So that was a really unique experience, and of course, obviously, since then, everything's been postponed. But when I was out in California, those did go well. We were all, being careful and everything, but it was like house concerts.
So yeah, California, getting hit very hard, and I think they were one of the first states to lock down completely. And for artists that's traveling doing this, and not being able to leave, that's that is an uphill battle within yourself. So how many shows did you do in California?
I had 3 out there, and two of them went through. All of the bookers were willing to go through with all the shows. I sort of left it in their camp because they knew the rules and laws of California better than I did. I was happy to, if they wanted to cancel it, I was happy to cancel it. If they wanted to go ahead, I was already there, so I was willing to give it a go. But one of the ones we did was in a listening room, or I did, I guess. And basically it was the whole city had shut down, and so we ended up just canceling that concert that night.
Well, that's encouraging. For them to still let you at least get some shows in. And, I guess as long as people follow the CDC guidelines, then then that's all that matters. But what's most important is that you was able to get some shows in, and you're at home, safe, and we are all dealing with this, and you know, it's affected everybody. People are losing jobs. Companies might not be able to fully recover. Things like that, and we're learning more stuff every single day. So as far as being at home, I notice a lot of people are doing, a lot of music artists are doing like online shows, while this is going on. Is that something you've been doing, or are you just hanging out?
So a lot of what I've been doing is working on new material. I'm doing a ton of writing right now. I'm looking at, depending on when things open up, going and recording an EP or a full album coming out this year. So a lot of new material coming out. I'm also looking at putting up more YouTube videos for people to hear of songs.
Awesome. I've heard some of your music that from years back. I enjoyed that, and so I look forward to hearing more from you, especially once you get the green light of getting to the studio.
Yeah.
So that's something. As far as so you live in Maryland currently, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about Maryland as far as how they handling everything with this pandemic?
Well, Governor Hogan has been pretty on top of stuff when it comes to trying to get the curve to go down. He's came out pretty quickly and started doing things in steps and seeing how it worked, and then finally we've come to the point where basically the state is shut down, which, given everything going on, is probably for the best.
Pretty much. That's just what it boils down to. From what I've been reading, there's a lot of speculation about the economy being reopened. I guess from my understanding, certain stores will be reopened under very strict guidelines, obviously. But there's speculation about, music shows, concerts will probably be the last thing to be fully open once this whole pandemic comes to an end. How optimistic you feel as far as when musicians like yourself will be able to get back to perform?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that, and I technically have stuff booked out in June right now, and of course no one's giving a red light on it, sort of like a yellow light to see kind of what happens. I'm hoping that we get a little more open by June. Obviously, I don't want to put anyone at risk or in danger, so obviously I'll leave it to the experts. But I'm kind of hoping optimistically things will start to come back in the summer for everybody, for entertainment, for anyone who's having issues right now.
It's totally understandable. We all want to get back to some sort of normal, even when things will be a bit different. You see a lot of people wearing masks now, and some sort of protection, I guess. I definitely want to see you perform, obviously, but obviously, health and safety are the top priorities right now, and so things will slowly but surely, I guess, get back to some sort of normal. I don't think it's going to be the normal that we've been accustomed to, but it takes one day at a time. So it's challenging. It takes a toll mentally. That while it's like you can't even get out the house or whatever. I mean, you can just engage in social distancing, and if you're in the grocery store or if you're getting your mail out the mailbox or whatever. So you was talking about writing some new songs for a potential new E. Have who who do you feel like some of your influences as far as the new songs you've been writing?
Um, so it's definitely still in the strain of modern folk music. This is sort of taking a bit of a fantasy twist, I guess you could say, or at least it's sort of the theme running through it, at least if the EP goes forward, or album. So I'd say like artists to semi-similar would probably be someone like Lorena McKennitt. She delves into sort of the traditional world and does some fun fantasy songs as well.
So while performers wait for the opportunity to perform again, I asked a lot of music artists this, and I will go ahead and ask you this as well. People wonder, for those that are financially able, want to help out, music artists during this time. Um, from your perspective, what's the best way to help artists like yourself as far as streaming music or merchandise? What are some ways people can help you artists during this pandemic?
Well, the ways you mentioned are good ones. Streaming songs, if you have, anything on Spotify or Apple Music or any of those platforms, buying music from iTunes, artist merchandise. Some artists are happy to mail people CDs too. If someone's had like a hard copy of your album, and they'll be happy to work out a system through Venmo or PayPal, I'm sure, or check, which is how it used to be. And that's just really the way to do it, is sort of to purchase music and merch to help artists out.
So that is some good stuff right there. So everyone, if you're financially able,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you got to pay your bills, like we all do, we get it.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's the crazy thing. Like, people waiting for unemployment checks, and the bills are gonna keep coming regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So take care of those first. But for everyone else,
Exactly.
for everyone else, stream the music, buy the T-shirts, whatever merch that they have, they would definitely appreciate it for sure. And once this pandemic does come to an end, I do hope you do come to Kentucky one day, and I will check you out and see you perform in person. I definitely want to see you, cause you told me like before I pressed the record button, that I was one of the first people to interview you, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. Like, anytime you be the first at something, I'm a use that as a badge of honor. So I'm gonna use that as a badge of honor. Why don't you also go ahead and let people know where can they check you out in social media?
So it's I have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and then a main website. And you can find me by typing in Kristin Rebecca on any of the platforms, and it's Kristin spelled Kristin. And then my main website is KristinRebecca.com.
There you have it, KristinRebecca.com. That is the website to check out all things Kristin. Check out her music, check out her bio, check out everything musically, what she has in store. And she got some stuff in June. Hopefully they will stand, but we'll see. Kristin, it was great catching up with you. Thank you so much.
You too.
Thank you for your time, and continue to be safe out there.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks for having me back on.
And that will conclude the interview. Be safe, everyone, and more importantly, stay home. With Kristin, with Kristin Rebecca, I'm Kenny Cummins. This will conclude a quarantine interview edition of Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C.